What did India do wrong? I mean, we talked about how clever England were, how adept they were. What could India have done better, in your view?
First thing, Harsha, I don't think we genuinely have the skill set beyond a certain bowlers who can actually make inroads. That's a fact.
I'm glad you said it.
Number two, so you can't be too hard on the Indian team. They'll also find bowlers eventually and they will start defending these scores. The nature of the game has changed a lot. Before, Test cricket would mean if some batter gets going, you can shut down for small periods of time, either bowling outside the off stump or bowling in the rough outside the leg stump, keep bowling negatively. Now that has gone off the boil. People play such extravagant shots, such unorthodox shots. You literally can't shut down a game for certain periods of time, which is a massive issue when you are trying to defend the total. Because if you're coming close to a new ball and you want 10, 12 overs of part timers, gone are those days. They take on those kind of spells if you try bowling them. Now, the second thing is Bumrah and Siraj bowled a high quality first spell, 12 overs for 26 runs, 13 overs for 26 runs, and just set it up. Okay. They didn't get a wicket, but they set it up. But soon after, Prasidh and Shardul came and gave 55 runs in the next 9 overs. Shardul and Prasidh didn't bowl consistent lengths. What did Bumrah and Prasidh do to create pressure? They hit the right links and stayed there for consistent periods of time. Whereas when I looked at Shardul and Prasidh's pitch map, it was a bit of a scattergun. It was all over the place, and can't be that can't be true at that point of time after the pressure that was created by these two bowlers. That it was released the pressure, and that played into England's hands.
Sometimes when you hear a hypothesis, like you come up with an observation, and then the numbers have actually justified that before the start of the series. When India were doing very, very well between 2018 and 2021, the difference in effectiveness between those bowling the new ball and those bowling behind the new ball was not very large. Difference in bowling average was about zero point 0.5, zero point 0.6 here and there. Post 2021, the new ball is averaging about 23, 24. The bowling behind the new ball is averaging about 38 and conceding at 4 and over. So the difference between what the new ball is doing and what the support cast, for want of a better word, is doing is very strong. And I think that is where you're missing a Shami. Shami at his peak. Everyone talks about who you're missing. I think India missing Shami at his peak, but he makes a very, very valid point. And since we are going to be looking ahead at some point very quickly on this program, do you have people who can sustain that pressure that the new ball is creating? And sometimes it can become frustrating for Jasprit Bumrah. I just thought today watching him, and I'm not an expert in these matters, it's trying too hard to get a wicket because he wasn't sure where the next one's coming from. Did you get that feeling, or did you just think he was a little tired? Or did he just play him well? There was nothing in the track for him, they just played him well.
So they did play him well, but he did try too hard, and that comes out of a certain personal feeling wanting to do well for the Indian team, but also knowing that he needs to do it for Indian team. There's a small difference there, it's subtle, because he realizes that if he gets a wicket, it's going to help the others who are coming in because they don't have the experience as much as him. And being the world champion that he is, he almost puts more pressure on himself wanting to pick those wickets, so he tries that much harder. For example, what would that mean? Instead of trying to swing it just around off stump, he'd go, let me try and swing it from leg stump to get that beauty. And sometimes you go straighter than what you need to be.
That's why
a few runs go, and that's what happened a couple of times. It's very understandable. And that's why the supporting cast need to just plug in where he also has some breathing space to go back and say, okay, these guys have picked up a couple of wickets. All I need to do is come and keep things tight, hit length hard, and things will happen. That is not his mindset. It is like, okay, this guy's batting. What should I do now? How am I going to get this guy's wicket? Let me go for a bouncer. Let me go for that booming outswinger. The thought process shifts a bit.